As daylight fades, some men show up at this place, as they do every year on November 9th. They carry a six-pack of cheap beer, Ice House. Garrett Ware takes a moment to look at a marker. In time, his wife Emily shows up. It gets dark.
What's up, man?
Looking handsome.
Oh. And others show up there too. There are hugs between men who know better than most how important they are. Candles are lit. A portrait is propped up in a chair. A young man with his head shaved.
Are we Ice Housing it? The reason why we have to drink Ice House is because that was Nathan's favorite drink. And unfortunately, he passed away without trying good beer.
1, 2, 3.
That was off.
Cheers to
Forever
Nathan
Wood.
Wood.
Forever Wood.
Forever Wood.
Here we go.
And so it begins again. Garrett Ware is a member of the Bothell Police Department. He's a resource officer at Bothell High School.
You going to a Krakens game?
He walks the halls.
You guys never skip.
No, we're not. We're going to class.
Talks to kids.
Like firefighters, like they can actually go into the academy.
In the event of a worst-case scenario, he'll be there. On the wall of his office is a U.S. Marines flag. In his heart is an ache that never goes away. He tells a story that never ends well.
So I was kind of new to the high school. A lot of people knew each other from the middle school. And I kept noticing him.
His name was Nathan Wood. They met at Juanita High School in Kirkland, sophomore year in 2000.
I wish I could go back and see how we actually met, because he is kind of more reserved, kind of a quiet guy. But yeah, became my best friend really fast. So we got in trouble together, and nothing too crazy, but you know, we were rebellious for sure. Nathan just one day said he went to a recruiter, talked to a recruiter, and he says, I think I'm going to the Marines. So
Garrett decided to sign up too. The Iraq War was in its first year.
I think the reputation of the Marine Corps was what's the hardest, most fiercest, elite fighting force that's out there.
You wanted to be badasses.
100%, yeah.
They went through boot camp together and were eventually assigned to different companies. They were infantrymen. And in November of 2004, they were sent into the city of Fallujah as part of a major offensive.
We were 18, 19, and just seemed like there was no fear in any of us. I mean, deep down, I'm sure we were all a little scared, but we never talked about that, you know? I remember Nathan and I met each other the day before we went into Fallujah. It was our last moment hanging out, and it just felt like a normal, just him and I shooting the breeze and, you know, saying, hey, well, I guess we're going to Fallujah tomorrow. Here we go. I'll see you on the other side, kind of thing.
For Garrett and Nathan, the battle lasted just one day.
I was injured on November 9th. There was some shrapnel from a mortar round that hit the middle of the street, and the shrapnel from that hit my eye, and then hit a couple of the guys I was with. I remember coming to in Balad, and I was in a bed with like 7 or 8 other Marines who were also injured. And, you know, I just asked, does anyone know Nathan Wood? And the guy across from me said that, yeah, I know Nathan, he was killed. I mean, there was the shock, there was the guilt, there was the disbelief, there was, I want to be back with my Marines. I mean, there were so many emotions at once. It was just a lot to handle, right? So I just kind of layered them on, and I don't know what you're supposed to do. But there's no instruction book, you know, on how to handle that.
Time passed. It always does. Garrett became a cop. He fell in love and got married. He has a family now, a future too, and dreams yet unfulfilled. But not Nathan. For Nathan, everything stopped.
Well, it's strange to see his picture will always be him at 19, right? So there's no 25-year-old, 38-year-old Nathan. It's just, that's what he looks like. You know, I can try to imagine what he would look like now. But yeah, we get to grow up in this, but that's like that's the still memory that we have of him, and totally robbed.
Forever gung-ho, forever fearless, frozen in time. Whatever dreams Nathan had, the ones he kept to himself, were lost with him. Maybe that's why it's important for Garrett to talk about Nathan, and so he does whenever he can. On this day at Juanita High, where they were young and fearless not so long ago.
November 9th, 2004, I was injured in Iraq, and at the same time, my best friend Nathan Wood was killed just a couple miles away from me.
Yeah, a day to remember our heroes.
He does a Memorial Day run, too, with a flag 5 miles from his home to Nathan's grave. Garrett and the grief he's carried for 19 years need these things. Nathan is buried here at Floral Hills Cemetery. This gathering happens every year on November 9th, the day Nathan died, 2 days before Veterans Day.
I've been calling it come out to see Nathan and celebrate his life.
And here's something incredible. Even after he died, Nathan impacted Garrett's life.
When I heard Nathan passed, my girlfriends and we went to the funeral. And I remember Garrett going up on the podium in his dress blues. And I looked at my girlfriends and I go, who's that?
Garrett and Emily have 3 children now. And this man, Brandon Metalis, helped carry Nathan's remains when he was sent home from the Middle East.
I consider Nathan a friend. Even though I never met him while he was alive, I met him the day he was killed.
What's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Like, I will be going to his gravesite as long as I'm here. If I move away, then I'll do what I can to come back. But it just seems like it all makes sense to just keep doing this.
There are thousands of Garretts, and there are thousands of Nathans. The world is filled with them. The cemeteries are filled with them. Sometimes all that can be done about it is to gather at night once in a while and talk and reflect and consider what it is exactly that's been lost.